to find the secrets of the universe. Think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so, to my way of thinking, it follows that healing is a vibrational activity. Actually, I think living is a vibrational activity. Our bodies, our feelings, our emotions, thoughts, beliefs, they're all vibration. They're all energy and movement. Sometimes not in so much movement, the stuck stuff. And we likely also agree, or mostly agree, that healing occurs when we raise our overall, the vibration of overall of our energy field, and we learn to sustain that. And to do so, we must release the lower, slower vibrations so that our overall field can vibrate higher. And New Thought author Neville Goddard agrees with this. He uses different language, but it's the same idea. He says that you cannot take into your new consciousness that part of the old you. All of your present beliefs, fears, and limitations are weights that bind you to your present level of consciousness. Fear, anger, shame, among other slower vibrating emotions, are more dense, and they vibrate more slowly, and they can get stuck so that we become locked in patterns. And a lot of our work, I believe, is about getting our energy moving again so that we can be at choice. And that's what we're doing during these evening healing services. We're releasing or transforming stuck energy so that we can be free to have a different experience if we choose to in this world of form. And I think it really all boils down to if you choose to. Once it's free, once it's moving, you can choose to have the same behavior, but you're choosing it then. Or you can choose to have the same experience, but you're choosing it then. Versus kind of being knee-jerk because that's the pattern that keeps coming up and playing itself out. It's been my experience in the healing work that I've done that the release of stuck energy happens best in a safe energetic space. And the solfeggio frequencies both create the safe container by raising the energy in the actual environment, in this sanctuary, as well as supporting us in raising our vibration, and thus then the release of old patterns, or those lower, slower vibrations. And as we release or unstick those lower vibrational areas of our energy body, our physical body included in that, we might experience emotions like grief, anger, irritation, or fear, or uncomfortable body sensations, maybe a burning or a tingling or aching, or even twinges of pain. And if this happens to you during the evening, don't worry, it's normal and it will pass with time. I encourage you to breathe into them, to do your best to remain in a place of non-resistance. Try to take the perspective kind of like watching clouds and know that just like a cloud, it will pass. And you'll feel better and freer on the other side. The solfeggio frequencies are supporting the removal of energy blockages from your body and your energy field so that your energy can circulate more freely. If it's an emotional thing, just do your best to stay with it so that your energy system can fully heal it. Know that when those things come into your awareness, they do so because you're ready to let them go. So actually having them made themselves known to you means that you're ready to let them go. And the fact that it's come up is a gift, because it means you can move on. This month, last January, we worked on a vibrational frequency that worked. It was vibrating with the first chakra. So a lot of the work we did last month was with the first chakra. This month, we're going to be working on clearing the second chakra, which is located about 2 inches below your navel, and to my teaching, in the center of your body. If you were to stand front to back, kind of in the center. Some people say 2 inches back, and all depends on the pictures. You'll see pictures where they come way out here, and so. But you can, if you put your attention there, it will work for you. Tonight we'll be using the 417 hertz solfeggio frequency. And this frequency is said to be the frequency of change and renewal. Just as guilt and fear can be an obstacle along the path to growth, so too can some of the traumatic experiences we've gone through that weigh heavy in the back of our minds. The 417 hertz washes away negative memories and influences from our mind and our soul, helping us to change our perspective and face the present moment with renewed spirit. 417 clears destructive influences of past events and puts you in touch with that inexhaustible source of energy that allows you to change your life. Sound good? So for those of you not familiar with the chakra system, Google is your best friend. There's also lots of good books to read if you're interested, but very briefly, and in a very small nutshell, again, it all depends on the sources that you read, but a lot of sources say that in our physical reality that we have 7 chakras located within our body. But don't limit yourself to that, because knees, hands, feet, but there's 7 ones kind of along our spine, from the top of our head down to the base of our spine, and then again they can go on and on. But for the sake of what we're doing here, we have the 7. And my training has taught me that our aura, or the energy field that surrounds us, emanates from these chakras, and that there is a relationship between each layer of your aura and the chakra. And if you're not familiar with chakras, don't worry about it. You don't have to know a single thing about a chakra for you to have benefit from this evening. Tonight, I again ask you, as I do every time we do this, to be willing to release those old patterns. Being willing is really an important part of the equation. Just being willing. You don't have to say it's gonna go, but just be willing to let it move. So be willing to release any of those old patterns and beliefs that we cherish so dearly and that we think serve us. Remember Myrtle? She released all that she thought was negative, and she reached a what do they call that when you? Thank you, plateau. That was the word I was looking at. She reached a plateau where she wasn't going anywhere. She said, so what the heck? And this voice inside of her said, well, look at what you think is your good stuff, your virtues. And she looked there in her positive, what she thought was positive aspects of herself, and she found where she was not in integrity. And so we too must be willing to release that we're so certain that we're right about. We must be willing to make room for a new truth, a new answer, a new perspective, a broader perspective. And the more willing you are to welcome that change, to entertain that the little T-truth you've been hanging on to might not be the only way to be with something, the more space there is for transformation. It's my belief that this work that we do to release old patterns and clear the way for spiritual awakening and the corresponding complete new way of viewing life is some of the most important work that we do. So we're going to use the first. I've been reading this book called. It's about near-death experiences, and the gentleman who was writing this book says that your vibrational frequency is like the most important thing that you can pay attention to. It determines how you live your life, and it determines how you die, and it determines how you almost die for the people that have come back. So it's important work that we do here. So we're going to use the first part of the solfeggio time together to just raise our vibration. And once we're vibrating at that higher place, then if there's something that you want to claim for yourself in terms of healing or shift or change, when we've gotten there, go ahead and make your claim then, because your vibration will already be higher, and you're kind of you're speaking or making your claim from a place of higher vibration rather than with the windows all foggy. And I like the idea of seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, by first raising our energy and then making a claim. We're in a better space to be able to receive. So that's enough of me talking. Are you ready? Okay, Madison, thank you. So if you would place both your feet on the floor and just allow your body to relax. Allow your eyes to gently close. Allow your body to feel heavy. And imagine that you're in a place in nature or some favorite place where you just relax just by being there. You just kind of let out that natural sigh and you feel your body just relaxes into that place. If it's by the water, you can imagine that you're sitting on a rock, or if it's on the beach in the warm sand or soil, or if it's in the mountains, you can imagine that you're sitting on an old tree stump whose roots go deep into the earth, or wherever you feel comfortable and safe and relaxed. And as your body relaxes, let's go ahead and enter that world within, that world where no lines are drawn, no boundaries or edges exist, where all is one. Breathe deeply into that space around your heart and acknowledge that the one life is the only thing happening, period. So tonight, as every night, I'm going to begin with the affirmative prayer that Dr. Richard wrote. And then over the next 30 minutes or so, I'll just speak to the energy that's in the room to remind you of the truth of you as you're doing this work of releasing and raising your energy. And my voice will not disturb the work of the solfeggio frequencies. It will just serve to hold the container. So let your first prayer in all things be for a consciousness which can support all the good you desire to experience. Let your first prayer in all things be for a consciousness which can support all the good you desire to experience. This is the prayer which will catapult you into a life of steadfast, serendipitous wonder. And the only thing you'll have to relinquish to experience this is the illusion that you know what's best for your life. The flower doesn't know how to grow its bloom. The human doesn't know how to beat its heart. The planet doesn't know how to navigate its path. And yet, there's a wisdom within each of these things which does know how to grow the flower's bloom, which does know how to beat the human's heart, which does know how to navigate the planet's path, each with startling precision. And you are a unique expression of this wisdom, this one life, which forever explores the limitlessness of its world through the limitlessness of its creation. You are a once-in-a-lifetime individualization of the only life that exists. There has never been another you. There will never be another you. And you are immersed in limitless possibility regarding every area of your life. And this being true, let our first prayer in all things be for a consciousness which can support all the good we desire to experience. So let us begin the night by simply being aware of being. Know that you are more than your physical body. You are an energy being, a light being, having a human experience. First and foremost, you are an energy being. Just be aware of that. And as you sit in this awareness, if you notice anything that seems to be contrary to that seems to have a different opinion about who you really are, that seems to resist it, just breathe into it. If there's a part of your body that feels uncomfortable, just breathe into it. And let your breath dissolve that energy that's not moving, that old pattern, that old belief, until it just disintegrates and starts moving again. Just breathe into those areas of resistance. Till they soften and fall away. And as you feel them soften, you can breathe that higher energy here in the room. The golden light, just breathe into that place. Let that light facilitate the movement of that stuck energy. Knowing that as you do so, as that energy goes back into circulation, that your overall energy field rises just a little bit more. Bring your attention back to just being aware of being, your I amness. That beingness is you. You as an individuated being of light. Notice how big you are. You as soul. One time we spoke about our auric field being as wide around as our outstretched arms. Let your awareness settle in that full space of you. Remember that you're not limited by the skin of your body, of your physical body. Again, notice if there's any part of you that seems to be in resistance to this expanded sense of who you are, to the glory of who you are, to the capital T truth of you as an individuated expression of the one life. Just notice if anything pushes against that. And breathe into that area. Imagine that your breath is light itself. Breathing and dissolving the knots, the stuckness, whatever that feels like. That says no or doubts, just breathe into it. Anything that would block the full expression of who you are. Just breathe into it. Crumbles away and moves back into circulation or falls into the earth, that your energy rises just a little bit more. And from this place of a higher vibration, if you have a claim to make it now. If it's for health or love or abundance, whatever it is, make it now and feel your way into it. Feel what it feels like to already be there. The truth of what you want is already at hand. It is what you are. So feel your way into it. And then notice if something seems to be pushing back, or if there is a resistance, or a disbelief, or a doubt. And breathe into that. Hold your claim. Feel into what it feels like. And breathe into any resistance so that it can dissolve and fall away. For yourself that you are an individuated expression of the one life that is the only life that there is, the one power, the one presence, that you are an individuated expression of that. That is the truth of who you are. Go ahead and feel your way into that. Own it. Know it for yourself. It is infinite. Therefore, it cannot not be you. You are of that stuff. And so all that is true of it is true of you right now. And so that which you are claiming is already yours. Because it is part of the one life, the one presence. feel your whole self into it. And then notice if something is pushing back, if something has a doubt, if something says not good enough. And just breathe light into that old pattern. Or if it's a feeling that you can't even put names on, but it just feels like it's disagreeing, just breathe into it. Breathe that light into it. And know that that old pattern has no power, no reality. Just allow it to dissolve and fall away. And know that as you do that, you are vibrating even that much higher. Once again, just bring your attention to being aware of being. feel into how you're feeling right now, into this awareness of being. Notice if there are any other little resistances you want to breathe into. Any energy that seems to be not moving. Just breathe into it. Allow it to dissolve. Allow your energy to come up a little bit more. Just be aware of being and just feel into how that feels. Get used to it. Get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with it. It helps you to sustain that higher vibration so that it becomes familiar to you. Your new normal. And so it is.